Scene 1, take 5. Hello, this is Raúl Baena, and I want to share my personal experience in Hairspray the other day in San Pedro Palace. And it had been years since I'd gone to the theater, ever since I came from my home country, partly because of the language barrier. 12 years later, and thanks to this class assignment, I decided to go back. I went to the San Pedro Palace to see Hairspray. Maybe it's because it had been so long since I'd experienced something like this, but it felt absolutely incredible. I enjoyed every single moment. Holding the program in my hand was like putting on a brand new pair of shoes, waiting for the perfect moment to wear them. In this case, it was opening it and flipping through the page before the show started. While sketching the stage in my notebook and getting ready to take notes. That moment, right before the lights go down, feels like time just stops. It reminded me of something I often notice at flamenco performance back home, that instant when the audience, full of emotion, lets out a deep ole from the heart. And I realized that same feeling exists here too. During Hairspray, some audience members couldn't hold back their shouts of excitement in the middle of the show. The set design, the color, the music, the choreography, the theming, the costumes, everything was perfectly in sync and true to the era it portrayed. It felt like we had stepped through a tunnel straight into 60s Baltimore. Penny was my favorite character, the clumsy friend who isn't there for her skills, but for the genuine joy of helping her best friend achieve her dreams. What really stood out to me was how she goes from being the awkward friend with almost mechanical dance move to becoming an excellent dancer and an important figure in the story's final outcome. This not only speaks to the character journey, but also to the actress' skill in making us believe and feel that transformation. And then something struck me. When you pay attention to the things that don't matter, you realize they actually do, and a lot. Even the background characters who weren't in the spotlights kept gesturing and acting as if they were having private conversations. It gave the whole performance an incredible sense of realism and made the production feel flawless. I was also deeply struck by the main conflict. The appearance of black characters was gradual, first one, then several, until eventually the cast was fully mixed. Later, I read in a review that Hairspray carries a heavy cultural weight because it takes the delicate topic of racial segregation. But what really made me think is that the story is told entirely from the white perspective, with all the main protagonists being white. And it made me wonder, was the end of segregation a movement led by white people, as the show seems to suggest? I left the theater with mixed feelings. On one hand, the joy of having seen such a well-produced show, and on the other hand, the lingering question that stayed in my mind. And I think that's what makes Hairspray truly great. It doesn't just entertain you, it leaves you thinking long after the curtains comes down. That's it.